Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is going to be Yarn Talk episode 31. If you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is Randy, as I obviously said already, and every week I bring you a video showing off all of the things that I have knit or crocheted this week and a few of the things I'm currently working on. Occasionally I'll also have yarn hauls, and sometimes I do random things like book talks. I am also an independent self-published author, and writing kind of assaulted my brain the last few days, so I haven't gotten as much done as I wanted to in the past few days. I am preparing for a very large craft fair and arts and entertainment event that is going to be in Seattle in just under 2 weeks now. It is on September 30th. It is the Life Forms Festival, and I will leave a link to the Facebook event for it, so if you are in the Washington or Oregon area and want to come check it out, admission is free. There's going to be, I'm not sure if they'll have food vendors, something that's like a hot dog stand or anybody serving food, but I know that there's gourmet food vendors that'll be there. Anyway, so I am going to dive right into the giant bucket of stuff that I got done in the last 6 days, and as I said, I was hoping I would have more, but this is what I've got for now. Oh, where to start? Okay, so I have a ton of cotton. If you have watched the channel at all, you will know that I have a lot of cotton. I've shown it off as I've bought it, so there's a ton of it. So what I'm doing with some of the leftover cotton, firstly I'm making sets of full-sized 8x8 dishcloths, washcloths, spa cloths, whatever you want to call them. And I'm taking the leftover bits and making little face scrubbies that are also cotton. There are 8 of these in total, and I have 4 full-size washcloths that are orange and black, just like this. So what I'm planning to do is I'm also going to take the red and silver cotton that I got earlier this week, and I'm going to be making some large dishcloths with that and some face scrubbies to go with it, and I'm going to have them, the little ones, something like 4 for $8 or $3 each, and then have the larger dishcloths also at a single item price and then a lot price, hopefully to encourage people to buy more of them. So I'm going to have the orange, the black with the silver, red and silver, and I got some purple cotton. So red and purple scrubbies and washcloths are one of the next things on my list because these are so fast. It's just 3 rounds of double crochet, like 3 rounds of a double crochet increase like you would do in any hat in the universe, really. Super, super fast. So there's those. Oh, what else do I have here? This is going to be another hat with horns. I'm going to be using up most of my sparkly holiday yarn for it. I'm going to leave a few of them plain, like anything from the red, white, and green mixture yarn. I'm just going to leave those as plain slouch hats. But this is a green yarn. This is a green yarn that also has a gold glitter thread running through it. And there's some sequins in there. I'm not sure how well you can see it. Maybe that's a little bit better. I'm going to be putting devil horns on this, just like on the hat that I was wearing in one of my previous videos. So I also have this, which is made out of bulky yarn, and this is a convertible cowl slash regular hat or ponytail hat. As you can see, there's a drawstring on the top, so if you wanted it to be a ponytail hat, you just pull it to wherever you need it to be to stuff your hair through there. Or you can cinch it all the way down and have it completely close. I actually have another one of these somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. I have no idea. I'll find it eventually. It's in one of the bins, I'm sure. So there's that. The other devil hat, which I made with black horns instead of white. Also made with the Hirschner's holiday yarn, and the horns are made with red heart shimmer and black. So as you can see, there's a teeny bit of a metallic tint to that. This is just a slouch hat. I found that these actually work best if you put them where you want them and then use a bobby pin here on either side to hold them in place. That way you don't have to worry about it falling off and you can walk around and enjoy it. So there's that. I have the rosy wrap that I made in my tutorial video. This is an ear warmer slash headscarf. And this one reminds me of cupcakes, hence the tan outside edge of it. And this was made with Big Twist, Sincerely in Cupcake Confetti. And the outside part is just a Hirschner's tan yarn. There's those. What else do I have? I'm also making some amigurumi. I'm planning on making more, but I did all of these in one day, and at the end of the day, to say that my hands hurt would be an understatement. So I have these two little pieces of candy corn that are just plain. And then I have Big Daddy candy corn. This is the largest one of the three. I have little Cyclops candy corn, which I need to make a twin for. And I have Count candy corn. As you can see, the face on this kind of looks like vampire fangs, which I thought was super cute because I'm a dork like that. I will leave the link for the tutorial for the candy corn in the description box down below the video, because it's adorable, and if you have scrap orange, yellow, or white yarn, it really doesn't take much. There's those. Have this goofy little voodoo doll that I made that is completely finished now. I believe last time I showed it, it was only partway done. I could be wrong. But this was just a bunch of different amigurumi elements that I threw together. It has a few random stitches here and there that are actually made with red heart shimmer. So this is adorable. I'd like to make a few more of these, but I don't think I'm going to make them quite this big because this took quite a while. Here are the full-sized washcloths, dishcloths that I made. They are 8 inches by 8 inches. And the last thing that I have finished is this stack of crazy colored stuff right here. So a long time ago I mentioned that when I leave long tails for weaving in ends, I usually leave somewhere between a 4 to 8 inch long tail, depending on if I think I'm going to have to be sewing stuff together with it or what have you. But whenever I finish a piece, and when I start a piece, I leave a fairly long tail. So after I've woven in a few inches of it and I snip it off, if I have at least 3 inches of yarn left, as long as it's all the same weight, I tie it together with a double knot and clip the tails off the yarn and just wound it into a ball. I had a fairly decent sized ball, so I thought, well, I'll make coffee cozies with it for travel cups. And it turned out interesting. I'm glad that I did something small because the textures in it are so weird, and I felt that the knots wouldn't be comfortable against skin. So I didn't want to make something wearable with it. I was thinking maybe bags. But then I came across a coffee cozy pattern and said, oh, perfect. So I have 5 of them, and they are all completely different. This is one. This has, as you can see, a menagerie of different colors in it. The back on this one is actually pretty similar, which is not the case with all of them. Here is the next one. As you can see, you can tell what sorts of projects I was doing because of the way that the yarn colors flow from one thing to the next. I thought that was kind of cool. Here's the next one. This one is a bit more crazy with the colors. Hopefully I can get that to focus. There we go. Bit more crazy with the colors. Lots of different colors in that one. This one is just, I don't even know how to describe this one. But this is lots and lots of different colors in this one on both sides. So these little things are even more eco-friendly than your average run-of-the-mill coffee sleeve, because this is all yarn that in most circumstances would have gotten thrown away, and since it is all acrylic yarn, it would have rotted in a landfill for a very, 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 very long time. Unless it was one of those ones where there was that fungus that scientists have recently discovered that can actually consume plastic, which is a new thing as far as I know. So that is all I have finished for now, for the past few days. I have a lot more things I want to get done. I also, in the next couple of days, want to show you all what I already have done that's in my closet, because the sheer quantity of stuff that I already have finished, I had no idea. For the longest time, I had just been finishing a project and putting it away in a bag in the closet, and whenever the bag would get full, it'd get stuffed to the back of the closet, and I'd just keep filling things up with finished hats and gloves and crop tops and bikini tops. So I have a lot of stuff that's already made. I have been stressing about making stuff for this craft fair as if the event is tomorrow, and it's not for almost 2 weeks. So I'm trying to give myself a little grace to take a day off here and there. Trying to, not 100% succeeding just yet, because, you know, I'm one of those people. If I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind. There will be time to rest when I'm dead someday, right? Someday in the very, 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 very far future. So that is it for the crafty stuff for this week. I'm just gonna chitty chat for a minute and then I'm gonna sign off because Killian is still asleep and I need to get him up from his nap soon. So speaking of mini monster number 2, he decided that waking up this morning at 5:30 was a good idea, which woke Hunter up, who, when I asked him to just go lay back down because it was so early, he burst into tears, and that was marvelous at 5:30 in the morning. Because for the past few days I've had a plot idea rolling around in my brain that I'd been trying to ignore because I'm like, shut up, I'm crocheting, I got stuff to do, go away, I don't have time for you right now. But it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't go away. So I gave in and I finally started making character profiles, and I have an entire series worth of novels basically plotted out, bare bones in my head. I have the main cast of characters done, I have the primary elements of what happens in the first book done, I have an idea of what would happen in the second book, and it's driving me insane because I really want to be writing and working on that. But if you don't know much about self-publishing, most indie authors have to sell their work at prices that are honestly, in my opinion, abysmal and cause a lot of mental health issues with self-worth to people who are authors. Primarily because if you spend about a year working on a book, you know, not just writing it, but editing it, getting the cover done, getting your marketing platform planned out, all that nonsense, and then if you charge more than 99 cents for a 300 plus page book, people are unlikely to buy it unless you are already well established. And I think that's insane. I think that is criminal. So you will go to somewhere like Starbucks where somebody puts a cup under a machine for the most part, and they pour a few mixers in and stirs it. And by the way, this isn't totally to rag on baristas, but I'm just trying to make a point about the level of effort that goes into something and what people place value upon. So you'll buy a $5 coffee and then leave a dollar plus tip. But if somebody were to ask you to pay more than $1 for an ebook, you feel like that price is too high and that the author is being greedy. Kind of weird. Don't really agree with it. I think it's horrible that people have to, for the most part, once you get to the second book in your series, it's pretty much expected that you have to mark your first book down to free in order to engage readers to get them to move on to your next books that are at a higher price point. I understand the business model, believe me, I've researched it to death, but I think it's crap, and I don't agree with it. I'm not a fan of it. It's depressing because that 99 cents that you're paying for a 300 or so page ebook, the author, if they are self-published, only gets 33 cents of it. If they are going through a small publishing house, they're having the 30 cents with the publishing house. So they're getting 15 or 16, like 16.5 cents for each book. You have to sell a lot of copies of a book for that to be even remotely lucrative. And writing is a lot of work. People think that it just bleh, like word vomit happens and you're like, ta-da, great American novel. I wish it was that easy. Since having children, writing has been next to impossible for me, and now that I am regaining my creative urges, it's frustrating to me that I don't really have a lot of time to write. Because it takes a few minutes to get into that headspace, you know, where it just kind of flows and you can write more than 10 words without being interrupted by toys being thrown and pulling your kids off of each other because they're trying to rip each other's hair out by the roots, or they're chasing the cat, or they're throwing something at the dog. I would like to say that I am a writer, but unfortunately at this juncture in time, I am somebody who has written a book who wants to write more books. I don't know if I can really call myself an author since I'm not getting to write as often as I would like to. But I have a little bit more time before my evenings will be filled again, so maybe I can actually get a decent chunk of a first draft done in the next week-ish. We shall see. So, that's really it for this week, I guess. If you are new to the channel, then you probably didn't really think anything of this. If you've been watching for a while, then you're probably wondering, oh my god, Randy, why is your hair kind of sort of reddish purplish? Well, I remember why I shouldn't buy Fairy a hair color, because apparently my hair is too healthy to take color unless I bleach it first. This was just supposed to be an auburn tint, and it stuck really well in some parts, and I used the entire bottle and saturated the ever-loving hell out of my hair with the color, because I used to dye my hair all the time. So I know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional hairdresser or anything, but I know what I'm doing. And there are parts of my hair that I can tell within the next wash or two will not have any color left in them at all. So maybe I'll just end up getting something like that overtone conditioner, which has coloring in it. That might be a better option for me. Because even though this hair dye wasn't expensive, I'm kind of disappointed that all I have is a teeny little bit of a red tinge. So I will quit yammering now so I can at least get this on my computer so I can edit it later, so I can get the kid up, so I can make dinner, and mom for the evening until the kids go to bed. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm glad to hear that so many of you were excited about the rosy wrap tutorial. That is out, by the way, if you haven't seen it already. I know a lot of people were asking for it, so I finally buckled down and got it done. So if you're wanting to give making one of those a try, go check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it works. If you need any clarifications in the pattern, I will try my best. And I will catch everybody in the next video. So thanks again so much for watching, everybody. Bye.